often do you find yourself waiting for the perfect moment or approval from someone else before taking action? Guess what? You are the only person who can give yourself permission to move forward. This week, we're going to talk about owning your own power. Stop waiting for permission to do what's right for you. So, grab a cup of coffee and come get uncomfortable with me. Welcome to the My Inner Struggle podcast. I'm your host, Laura Ferry. I'm really glad that you're here with me this week. I'm glad that you're here with me every week, and welcome to episode 52. This is kind of crazy. So last week we were talking about not feeling sorry for yourself, playing the victim and getting out of that mode. I've been there. We've all been there at times. Definitely spent too long, definitely in different parts of my life being in there. If you haven't caught that episode, flip back and check it out. Sometimes we need that push or that tough love to get out of that spot. And if you have nobody else giving that to you, I'd be happy to oblige. This week, we are talking about giving up the thought of needing the perfect time or permission to do something with our life. It's all about taking action. We can talk about things until we're blue in the face. We can talk about, our goals, our aspirations, the things that we want to achieve. But until we start taking action on them, nothing changes. And we definitely don't need permission to live the life that we want to live. As long as we're not hurting anybody around us, there's no reason for it. So there's a lot of people that get caught up in that action of waiting for the perfect moment. So we're going to dive in a little bit deeper about that today. Maybe you've thought once, once I have the degree, once I have the right job, once I meet the right person, once I insert whatever it is that you need, then I'll be ready. And the thing is the only person that can tell you when you're ready is you. And sometimes we have to push ourselves a little bit, give a little nudge in the back to move in the right direction. There's a lot of danger in waiting for the perfect moment, if that ever exists. If you're waiting for external validation, say, for instance, it never really arrives. If you're asking the people that haven't made change about the change that you want to make in your life, you're taking advice from someone who hasn't been in your shoes. So seeking out advice from people that haven't done what you want to do or anything like that can be kind of tricky and triggering and dangerous because you're not really going to further yourself on that goal. Always seek out mentors and people that you can rely on that have sat in your shoes before. And that's the beauty of finding someone in your industry or doing something that you've never done before. If you wanted to try scuba diving, you would go take a scuba diving class and ask those that have done it before. You're not going to ask the person that sits in the cubicle next to you that is afraid to swim about, getting scuba certified. Just as the top of mind. People get stuck in this loop of inaction. We're talking about it. We're too afraid to make moves. We're talking about it. We contemplate it. I've spent a long time in a contemplation stage of a lot of different change. It's inevitable. If you've read my book yet, Is It an Open Bar? You can see that. It's available on myinnerstruggle.com. But we spend a long time just contemplating all of these things that we want to do without taking action. And sometimes it's baby steps, and that's okay, as long as you're stepping in the right direction. It's really, really important. This loop of inaction keeps us stuck, essentially, stagnant. It leads to frustration and self-doubt and kind of pissiness without lack of anything better to say. The people that you talk to in your life that are kind of a little spicy and not in a good way are stuck. The people that are judging you for making strides in your life, or the snide comments or underhanded comments that they can be making when you're trying to take strides in your own life, they're stuck. Do you want to be negative Nancy? Probably not. So let's start thinking about the things that you can take action on today to get closer to your goals. Um, Think about, and we were talking about this in the Self Love Club over the last few weeks about job changes or being in a job that doesn't really serve you, or the lack of boundary that you have in your job with your boss or the amount of work that you're doing or anything like that. And, or on the flip side, doing a great job at work and there are some great boundaries set and you really want to level up and get a promotion and get a raise and move up within the company. And a lot of times that's, anxiety inducing. I don't really know anybody that hasn't at least, you know, hesitated a little bit on something like that, on a move like that. And they don't really, take action on it, or it takes a little push or a nudge in that right direction. Being confident is kind of everything in that direction, knowing the value that you add to the table. And if you have a hard time coming up with that, I always write, I write everything down. I make a ton of lists all the time, and not necessarily like a pro and con list and something like this, but if you need some validation from yourself, because that's the only place that it should be coming from. If there's something that you want to do, of course, there are cheerleaders behind you, and that is amazing and awesome and terrific if you have that. And if you don't, all you need is the power within you to get where you want to go. So I would suggest making a list of the things that you know that you add value to, so that you can kind of rehearse that and go in with confidence, asking for whatever it is that you want, to take time off or a new promotion or a raise or whatever, and just kind of do your homework. Don't go in unprepared, but having that confidence to make that decision or request or whatever fits your situation is really important. Sometimes we get stuck in this validation trap. I was that way long ago in my career, about advancing myself and learning more, and just really getting traction to create a future that I knew that I wanted, and I needed to be able to support myself and my children. So sometimes society and family can instill the idea that we need permission from other people to do those things. And you don't. It's really up to you. This is your story. Your story. It doesn't belong to anyone else other than you. And it's especially true for women and underrepresented groups. So we often feel the need that we need to get permission from someone else in order to move forward. And I did that for a really long time. And it was directly linked to my lack of confidence in myself and what I had to offer. I don't need permission from anyone to set up a new offering, a workshop, or anything like that. And now I know that and can embrace that. The validation comes from the sale, say, or from, the feedback that it was successful and someone got their results. Whereas the same is for you if you are not in this your own business environment, and you are looking for, say, more money, and you do your homework and you go into your boss's office and you sit down and you say, listen, I've been, doing all of these things, X, Y, and Z. I got you here. I add value. This is what I would like. The validation is that increase income to you. And if for some reason it doesn't happen, you need to address what you're doing going forward. But you don't need permission to do that. You have within you everything that you need to accomplish that. Sometimes we've waited for someone to say it's okay to take the next step when we didn't really need that permission in the first place. But the hard reality is you can own that yourself. And that really comes with building confidence within yourself. If you wait and you're thinking about it and you're waiting, a lot of, I was in an environment where there was a lot of passive aggressive people that weren't really taking action, wouldn't really speak up when something wasn't really going their way, but would be the first to complain about it. You don't want to get stuck in that cycle You want to take action and make change where you can. Don't let the other miserable people around you have impact on that. You're worthy of more. You're worthy of everything that you want. You just have to believe in that and then apply yourself and take the actionable steps to get there. When we wait, we lose the opportunity. We lose, we're not grasping it. We're losing the opportunity. We can get frustrated. We can simmer in that low self-esteem. When you're in a place where it's not great, say morale is low and you're regretting not trying to take that step and you're feeling stuck. Inaction breeds stagnation, and decisions left unmade can hold us back from our full potential. If you're not making a decision to take action, you've made your decision not to take action. So sit comfortable if that's where you want to stay. But that's not me. People have taken bold action and, like I was just saying, can get criticized for that. But I want you to be okay with that. It's really hard to sit in the moment and kind of come to terms with that. But Steve Jobs, say he didn't wait for a giant corporation to validate his idea for the iPhone. He created it and he kept moving. He took risks and he built an empire. And whether or not that's a significant person to you, it happened. A few years ago, I made a bold and really, really difficult decision to leave a full-time job where I loved the people, but the environment was killing me slowly, and created something myself that I've always dreamed of, and I'm still building. But it's been the greatest ride of my life, and I am having the fucking time of my life creating and helping people and doing what I really feel like I was always meant to do. I just didn't know what exactly it was. But if I didn't take those bold steps and become unpopular to do so, I wouldn't be here. I used to wait for approval for a lot of things, and it had a lot for myself tied to my worth. And I know that's not true anymore. It took a lot of work to get there, a lot of affirmations, a lot of meditation, and a lot of believing in myself and really turning things around. If I can do it, you're capable of it too. We don't want to stay stuck in a place where we feel like we don't belong, even though the steps to get out of that are scary. Believe in yourself. You deserve everything that you desire. Absolutely. I used to wait for approval, and one day it kind of, there was various times in my career where I would do that as well. And when you're in a job where you're reporting to a boss that might feel a little intimidating long ago, you can definitely stay stuck in that. And then that pattern can repeat itself throughout time until you're confident enough in yourself and your ability to actually speak up and be the unpopular one. Nobody knows me better than myself. Nobody knows you better than you. And sometimes we need to do the scary thing, and that's okay. I encourage it. I encourage you, and just like the tagline here, come get uncomfortable with me, because actionable change is uncomfortable. Looking at yourself in the mirror without moving is uncomfortable. Looking at all your bullshit behind everything that you do, all your triggers and your fears and everything else that goes along with it, it's uncomfortable, but you're capable. And what's on the other side is fucking amazing. Take the leap. Taking the leap doesn't mean that everything's perfectly in place, because it's not. I am so happy where I am now, but I still have so far to go. But I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be so happy. And I didn't even know that this level of happiness existed, honestly, a few years ago. It's about trusting yourself and starting before you're fully ready. You have to push yourself. You have to give yourself that little nudge. And if you need any help, I'm always here to help. I do offer one-on-one coaching and in a group setting as well through the Self-Love Club. It's okay to be scared. You still have to go after it. Taking action is the only way to turn a dream into reality. So let's talk a little bit about shifting our mindset into empowering ourselves. If when you empower yourself, you stop asking, do I have permission to do that? And start asking, what actions can I take today to start reaching my goals? No matter how small. It doesn't really matter how small, whether or not you're thinking, if you want to retire at the beach, say, and you still have, 40 years worth of working years that you're prepared, to pursue. You start thinking about those, start planning, start saving, start dreaming about it. And that's why I love vision boards so much. And I have vision board classes each month throughout the county locally, and virtually soon, just to kind of create your vision of what you're looking for. Because when we have that vision, it gives us like a purpose in the morning to wake up. And when you really look at that, we don't stick pictures on a board and expect it to just come true. It's a vision, and it gives us hope and goals and purpose to get to where we want to go. We see that vision, and now we know, okay, you know what? I really do want that beach house. I'm going to set up a savings plan that will, get me toward that direction of putting a deposit down on a house, or, a plan of, selling my current house and then buying my beach house, or whatever it is. But it gives you that purpose and meaning to get through whatever it is that you have to get through to get to your goal. That was just one example. Instead of thinking about all the things you don't have, focus on what you already possess. Skills, things like otherwise, your job, and take advantage of it. You've got what you need within you to get where you need to go. So, instead of like, this ties into where we always start with gratitude, right? And we're focusing on how grateful we are to be in that spot where we are. That gives us meaning and purpose and fulfillment of where we are, and to start living in those steps of who we want to be. There's that saying, and I'm probably going to murder it right now. Don't dress for the part that you have, dress for the part that you want. That's true with anything. Don't, I have one of my affirmations in the morning is that I live in my dream house, and I love my house. I do. But eventually I think I'll be ready for a change. And I walk around my house and I'm turning it into my dream house and all of the things that I want inside it. Not really the feeling, I guess I want to say, in each room, the feeling that you get when you walk into the room, where it puts a smile on your face. And gosh, I just love being in that space. That is my dream house. So I am living that in action now while I get on my road, to obtaining that different space that I want eventually. Taking big leaps can feel overwhelming, but ideally we're breaking things down into small, actionable steps to get to where we want to go. Say your goal is to launch a business. You can't wait to have the perfect website. You kind of have to just go. You start with making a phone call, creating a simple landing page. Once you take action, the momentum builds, and then you head into that direction. My website has changed probably 25 times in the last 2 years. And I finally landed on where I am, and I'm so happy about it. But I had to go through all that other bullshit in order to get there. And we learn as we go. Practice your self-validation consistently each day. These are those affirmations that I talk about. You can trust yourself and validate your abilities when you reiterate like that confidence in yourself consistently, day by day. Eventually your mindset and your brain starts to catch up. If we're feeding something with negative energy, it's going to feel negative all the time. But if we're feeding ourselves with good, positive energy, that's going to radiate to all of the other things around us. That confidence doesn't come from other people. It comes from inside of us. And we have to believe that. We have to really, really work at it. And I understand how not confident you can feel. Trust me. But when you continually, consistently work on those things, you'll be heading in the right direction. Before I took action on launching my first course, I had to remind myself daily, I am worthy of success. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of all of the good things that are coming my way. If you wait for others to validate you, you might be waiting forever, really, because it's really your story and it's up to you. Surround yourself with support. So find people who empower you. If you are surrounded by friends that are doubting your every move, you're in the wrong circle. You need to be supported by people that have your back and want to see you win and not just be there in the end. I went through a long time of not having a big support system behind me. And, those people kind of show up when things are good. And that's not always a great thing. And it doesn't always feel good. You want to be supported by the people that are surrounding you. So really focus on those relationships of the people that are empowering you and have your back, and that you can call in your darkest moment and they can say, you so have this, but know within yourself that you do anyway, even if you're on your own, like I was. If you are lucky enough at a very early stage in whatever change that you're wanting to make, to find a mentor, that is amazing. I've been looking for a business mentor continually throughout my career, and I've had different ones in different phases or applied to different kinds of things that I was doing at the time, whether it was finance or operations or what have you. But when you have someone that you can reach out to when you need knowledge and advice, that is super duper helpful. Networking groups are good for that too, as long as we're not just in it for the sale, which is something that I'm not a huge fan of. But I like the support and camaraderie that it comes with finding your squad. I do have an upcoming workshop. It's posted on myinnerstruggle.com about kind of just getting your shit together. It's a 5-week course. I'm really excited about it. It's about building all those habits and really digging down and getting honest with yourself about the bullshit that you still have so that you can launch into whatever it is that you want to do. So it's really from anything from your job, or just kind of getting out of the hole that you feel like you're in, or if you're stuck in a rut, anything like that. So I encourage you to check it out, see if that's something that would appeal to you. And that starts on April 1st. So I want you, if you could walk away from today with just one line, I want you to do the thing that you feel nervous to do, and you'll figure it out along the way. Don't wait for anyone else's permission. This is you, and you got it, I promise. I'm so happy that you were here with me today. I hope that you found this valuable. If you did, if you could please give it a like and subscribe wherever you were watching or listening, and share it with a friend. That would mean the world to me. If you haven't yet, check out my latest book, Is It an Open Bar, and the blog, and you can find both at myinnerstruggle.com. I will see you next week. I am thinking of you and sending you love, and I will see you soon. Thank you for listening to this episode. I have one more morsel for you. I want you to take action in the next 24 hours. I want you to set a small goal and make a step towards it. And if you need help, I am here for you. Just shoot me a message on social or send me an email. And if you're ready to take the next step in owning your own power, sign up for my 5-week course at myinnerstruggle.com. I'll see you soon.